Okay, so we're going to move on to these types of shapes, which these shapes are cones. So we're going to be finding the volume of cones. And if we look at the formula chart, we're going to see that cones is represented here. And if we look next to it, the formula, its volume is equal to 1/3 area of the base times the height. And as you know, this is area of the base. So the area of the base would have to be finding this bottom piece. And the bottom piece is a circle, so we need to find the area of a circle. And area is equal to pi radius squared. So now moving on to this portion here. So now that we have our shape, what we're working with, we have the volume formula, and we also have area of the base formula. Again, our base is a circle. We're ready to move on to finding the area of that base. So we're going to start with drawing our base here. Our base is a circle. And remember and I always like to give myself this reminder, if I have a circle and I'm given the full length, that's because I'm given the diameter and I need to divide by 2. If I am given a circle and I'm given the radius, that's because I'm already given half. There's no dividing. So in this case, I'm given the full diameter, and that's 8. So now that I know that I'm given the diameter of 8, I need to remember to divide that by 2, and that's 4. 4 is going to be what I need to work with. Now to find the area of the base, that's pi radius squared. I need to plug in 4 for the radius. So pi 4 squared. Now I'm going to grab my calculator and I'm going to plug it in just like that. So second pi 4 squared. Enter. I get 50.27 if I'm rounding that. So B is equal to 50.27, which uppercase B is area of the base, so the area of the base is 50.27. And I'm going to write that down here. Now the height is going to be from the base to the tip of the cone is going to be 9. So I'm writing that down. And I'm also going to write down the formula again for volume. So volume is equal to 1/3 area of the base times the height. And I'm going to write down volume is equal to 1/3. Area of the base we found was 50.27. We're going to multiply that times the height, which is 9. And I'm going to plug that into the calculator. So here we go. So we're going to say 1, and we're typing in the 1/3 just like that. So just as you were to type it in if it was a fraction to convert it to a decimal, we're going to do the same exact thing. So 1 divided by 3 times 50.27 times 9. Oh, I forgot to include the 9, sorry. So let me do this again. 1 divided by 3 times 50.27 times 9. Enter. 150.81 will be your answer. So 150.81. And we're not going to leave our numbers naked, so we need to include our units, which is inches. So inches cubed for our 3-dimensional shape. So that's volume is equal to that. Okay, moving on to the next one. We have our base down here. We need to work with this first, so we're going to draw our base. This time I'm only given the radius. So I'm only given half of the line. So that's our 7. So the radius is 7. There's no division, so that's what I'm going to work with. And I'm going to now find area of the base. So pi radius squared. Now I am going to plug this in, so I'm going to say pi 7 squared. I'm going to type that into my calculator. Second pi, 7 squared. Enter. And that's at 153.94 if I'm rounding that. Because that 8 makes that 3 go up to a 4. So now that I have that, I'm going to say 153.94. So that's big B, area of the base. Now if we're looking at the height, we're looking from the base to the tip of the cone, and that's 12. I'm going to put that down. Now we're ready to write down the formula. So volume is equal to 1/3 area of the base times the height. Volume is equal to 1/3. Area of the base we found was 153.94 times the height, which was 12. So we're going to type that just like that onto the calculator. So 1 divided by 3 times 153.94 times 12. Enter. And that right there is 615.76. Volume is equal to 615.76. And we're not leaving our numbers naked, so we're going to include our units, and that's feet cubed. Now I do want to talk about the fact that you could also multiply these two numbers, for example, so 50.27 times 9. And if you do not like that fraction, you could just multiply these two and then divide by 3. Notice it got you the same answer you have here. And the same thing works out for this. We're going to multiply these two numbers if you do not want to work with a fraction. So we're going to multiply 153.94 times 12. And if I multiply those and then divide by 3, notice I get the same answer I got here. So 1/3 and dividing by 3 is the same exact thing. So you can choose whether you're wanting to use 1/3 and multiply that times the area of the base times the height, or you can multiply the area of the base times the height and then divide by 3. So this could also work as well. Volume is equal to area of the base times the height divided by 3. That's what I'm referring to. Okay, that's it.